Have you heard of what Brendan Schaub said about Joe Rogan's absence from UFC 271? Or what he had to say about the potential fight between Khamzat and Kamaru? He seems to believe that no one can beat Khamzat, not even Kamaru. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to be left out on the details of Indy Aries' advice to Joe Rogan and lots more. Brendan Schaub talks about Joe Rogan's absence from UFC 271, says it is more than just a conflict of schedule. The former UFC heavyweight fighter Brendan Schaub gave a hint on his YouTube podcast, The Schaub Show, that Joe Rogan's absence from UFC 271 is more than just a conflict of schedule, as the UFC announced days before the event. The UFC was planning to feature Joe Rogan as one of the commentators for UFC 271, but it was later announced that he couldn't participate that night. Brendan Schaub said there was more to the story. It is believed that Joe Rogan's absence from UFC 271 is due to the series of controversies he has been involved in lately. Rogan is one of the most famous podcasters in the world, with hosting his podcast called The Joe Rogan Experience. The Joe Rogan Spotify controversy began after he invited certain guests who allegedly shared misinformation on the pandemic diseases vaccines. When that was about fading out after an apology from him, another controversy came as a montage of video of him using racist slurs in many of his past podcasts that went viral on social media. Joe Rogan was supposed to be one of the commentators at UFC 271, but was replaced by Michael Bisping, for which the UFC announced that he wasn't available. Brendan Schaub, who is close to Joe Rogan, indicated on his show after UFC 271 that the veteran commentator Joe Rogan wasn't just absent due to a conflict of schedule like the UFC announced. Schaub said, "Do I know exactly what happened? Sure do. Is it my story to tell? Nope. But when it comes out, you're gonna love Joe Rogan even more from missing that one, I'll say that." Schaub, who was not on good terms with the UFC president Dana White, also admitted that he now has respect for White and would never talk trash about him again because he played a big role in this interesting story around Rogan's absence. "But you'll also love Dana White even more. I will never talk shit to Dana White ever again. After hearing him going to bat for his guys, he's just a real one. He's a real one. He might not like me, but I like him. That's how it goes," Schaub said.
Obviously, there's a little bit of drama going into it, right? No Joe Rogan. Which, again, I said something companion. Do I know exactly what happened? Sure do. Is it my story to tell? Nope. But when it comes out, you're going to love Joe Rogan even more for missing that one. I'll say that. Man. But, and you also love Dana White even more. I will never, ever talk about Dana White again. After him going to bat for his guys. He's just a real one. He's a real one. He might not like me, but I like him. That's how it goes.
What can you make of what Brendan Schaub said? Comment below. What is the story behind Joe Rogan's absence, and what could Dana have done that made him command the respect of a one-time rival? Brendan Schaub believes no one beats Khamzat Chimaev, not even Kamaru Usman. In a recent episode of The Schaub Show podcast, Brendan Schaub talked about a potential fight that could happen in the future between Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev. But as of now, Khamzat Chimaev has agreed to enter the octagon with Gilbert Burns at UFC 273 on April 9th, 2022 in Jacksonville, Florida. Both champions, Khamzat and Burns, coming from wins over Li Jingliang and Stephen Thompson respectively in the previous year, are rumored to meet in their next bout, of which Schaub believes that Khamzat will win. Khamzat Chimaev has had his sights set on Kamaru Usman for a while, and he took the challenge to Twitter saying, "So you're trying to change weight before I come you? Don't go anywhere, I'm coming. I smash you and Burns in 2 minutes, believe me. I'm the king here." On the Schaub Show, Schaub spoke about his potential future fight, that he doesn't think that Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian nightmare, is too interested in fighting Khamzat, as he believes Khamzat is an unstoppable force no one can beat.
But that Khamzat train's coming, so we gotta get moving, man. You don't want to wait and have to fight that demon. You just don't. Nobody wants to fight Khamzat. I don't think Kamaru does. And the thing is if I'm ranked, top 10, I'm saying this, I'm leaning on the rankings going, he's 11, I'm not fighting him, but we all know why you're not fighting him. The Khamzat train's coming. It's undeniable. It's scary. And we're getting a lot of questions answered very soon when he fights Gilbert Burns. And I have a good idea that that's not going to go great for Gilbert Burns. Dude, when I say I'm on Khamzat's, and you know his nuts are hairy. When I say I'm on his nuts, you think Khamzat's using manscaped.com promo code CFC for 20% off? Not a chance. He keeps it hairy. He keeps it hairy like his chest, dog.
Do you think Schaub is right in saying Kamaru doesn't want to face Khamzat Chimaev? Or do you think Kamaru would prove Schaub wrong? Share your opinions in the comment section below. India Arie accuses Joe Rogan of conscious racism and gives him an advice. Still, on the Joe Rogan Spotify saga, the famous and Grammy Award-winning singer India Arie has given some advice to UFC commentator Joe Rogan, who she thinks is consciously racist. Both videos that spark up the controversy went more viral when India Arie shared them on her Instagram page, and it was seen in her reactions that she was so pissed by what Joe Rogan did, to the extent that she even threatened to remove all her music from the streaming service hosting the Joe Rogan Experience, Spotify. Recently, India Arie and Trevor Noah were on The Daily Show to discuss their opinions on the controversy, of which the famous singer explained that there are two types of racism: conscious racism and unconscious racism. She said that she has learned to make room for forgiveness for people who are unconsciously racist because the whole society is built on racist concepts, but went on to say that when a person knows he is being racist and still keeps doing is what she calls conscious racism. She concluded that Joe Rogan is guilty of being consciously racist. She went on to say that the former UFC commentator needs to do more to truly show he is sorry. She gave an account of the hateful comments containing racist slurs that she received in her DMs from people who were in support of Joe Rogan, and said that this makes her think that this was the language his supporters thought was right to be used to address her. What can you make of India Arie's comments, Joe Rogan? Do you agree with her and think that Joe Rogan should address his followers as she advised? Comment below. I'm going to make more money than UFC champions in my first fight, Kevin says of his new deal with Eagle FC. Kevin Lee believes that his new contract with Eagle FC will make him more money than most UFC champions. In November 2021, Kevin suffered setbacks in 4 of his 5 fights in the octagon, and this made the UFC release him despite still having multiple fights left on his contract. After leaving the UFC, Kevin Lee signed a new multi-fight contract with Khabib Nurmagomedov's Eagle FC promotion. In speaking with MMA Junkie Radio, Kevin Lee mentioned that his first debut fight against Diego Sanchez will make him more money than most UFC champions make. My contract will make more than most UFC champions. See, I'm going to make more than UFC champions in my first fight, so we're having fun, he said. The first fight will be Kevin Lee's debut in the 165-pound division and is set to take place on March 11th in Miami, Florida. Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson in a potential UFC 274 fight. My power is going to be a lot for him, Michael Chandler says. A fight between Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson is a highly anticipated bout by the UFC fans, as both are known to be all-action fighters, as they are always in entertaining fights. Michael Chandler is so eager to test with against someone like Ferguson, and he expects it to be a terrible fight should he ever meet Ferguson. In his forecast of how the match would be, Michael Chandler said that the fight is going to be a high pace and he thinks his power is going to be a lot on Ferguson. He believes he is good in all the areas that Ferguson is good. He doesn't see himself being submitted by Tony Ferguson, even though Ferguson is dangerous and can be very unpredictable when fighting against him. As of now, the fight has not yet been confirmed by the UFC, but both are predicted to fight against each other on May 7th at UFC 274. I'm sure you enjoyed this video, so do well to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you are yet to. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when more content like this one are uploaded. See you in the next video. Goodbye.